I just remember being as a kid, like always looking up to people with a jacked physique and being like, "Fuck, man, I want that. I want to be jacked as fuck, lean as hell. I want the full package. I don't just want to be that bodybuilder who's got the physique and not being able to move. I want to be able to just walk down the street and everyone's like, this guy moves well. There's something different about this person. He's not just like, a guy who's got big biceps and a physique. He's an athlete. He's the full package. He doesn't even just look strong, is powerful, is quick. He also has a physique to back it up. He looks athletic. That was my dream. That was my affirmation. But I didn't just want to be strong. I just want to be the strongest. Not the strongest in the world in one domain, but just different. Different in the sense that you walk into a room, a bodybuilder sees you, the bodybuilder says, fuck, that guy is strong. You walk into another room, you see a bunch of Olympic lifters were like, that guy is strong. You walk into a room with a bunch of strong men, and they're like, this guy's fucking strong. You walk into a room with a bunch of gymnasts, this guy's fucking strong. It doesn't matter what domain of power and strength sport there is. I just wanted to be so strong, not in one thing, not the best in deadlifts, but just across the board. That was my mentality. So I trained that way. And I put the effort into the gym every single fucking day. Because even though that was what I was trying to go after, the physique, which I know you guys all fucking want. You want to walk into the room and be like, fuck, man, I feel proud of myself. I'm proud of the way I look. I'm not ashamed of it. But the reason that I went all the time and I got to where I was is because I focused in terms of how I felt. I just knew for a fucking fact when I worked out, I felt better. I was in school and university, and just after high school, I was going through a miserable time. I was not proud of myself in terms of how I looked and how I felt. You can call it anxious, depression, shame, guilt. It was a bit of fuck up as a kid. And I just got tired of feeling like that way. But I knew for a fact every time I worked out, I was in that, you can call it zone. The gym was my church. It was my place where I can tap into a spiritual level and just realize I'm okay. That's when I kind of realized I created a negative circumstance outside of my life, but every time I went into a gym and tapped into a growth state, I was growing and curious, and I was learning about myself, and I was overcoming, and I was playing, and I was fighting. When I tapped into those domains, it put me in a state of peace. There was no time. I was in flow. So I never wanted to leave that state. So I fell in love with the gym. It's not the gym. It's not the tools. It's not the objects. It's how we conduct ourselves in the gym itself. The reason why a lot of athletes I see, including myself, when we reach a certain level, they slip is because they focus on the medals, the trophies, instead of focusing on making themselves a better human being. Because I know for a fact, when I feel good and I feel great, everything around me becomes greater. I lift everyone's emotions up around me. That's called being enthusiastic. You know that feeling when someone walks in the room like that. You're not having the best day, but they walk in and instantly, in like one tenth of a motherfucking second, it just changes your internal state, and you're just like, oh wow, you're in a good mood today. Thank you. You're not actually saying that, but it's in a very subconscious level. To the point where it happens all the time, and you're like, what the fuck is he on? I realize he's just working out and just taking care of himself. The physique's important. Don't get me wrong. That put us in a certain, you can call it an ego boost. It's an attraction. Don't get me wrong. But I've seen fucking people who are massively overweight after a fucking good workout in that flow state. I see it all the time in my gym. And they're just a different human being. They're so positive. And I love being around them. It has nothing to do with the weight. I talk a lot of shit about people who are just weak and fucking out of shape. But it's the behavior. If you're behaving weak, when I'm behaving like a guy who's just eating too much and just not focusing on like tasks that need to be done and just using boredom to eat the pain away, then fuck, I feel like an asshole. When I used to use drugs, marijuana, to just numb the pain away, I felt like a fucking asshole. I felt weak. You gotta think of it from a logical standpoint. Before there was money, there was human beings, and there was just flesh and bone and just us being primal. That hasn't changed much. Humans used to hunt and gather, and we used to create relationships and bonds with the people around us. So, to hunt, you got to be strong. But we stopped hunting. There's grocery stores in every single corner of the street. There's carbohydrates everywhere. And then when it comes to being primal, I mean, when was the last time you went out into the weather, into the environment? A while. I guarantee some of you are struggling. When was the last time you helped a tribe of people? All aligned with the same goals. Probably fucking a long time. So when I'm growing stronger, when I eat right, when I get my hunt, after a hard fight, a hard workout, and then I help the people around me in my gym, or it could be at work, it doesn't matter. When I lift them up because we're going down the same path, there's no such thing as depression. It has nothing to do with the job. When I clean the gym, like for example this morning, I don't get paid to clean the gym on a motherfucking Sunday. But I know for a fact when I do it, the coaches and the people around me, their mood is better. There has been days where I did less of it. When I did less of it, guess what? Not only is my mood not the best, the coaches and everyone else's mood is not as good. I sense it, I see it. So I realize I'm in a leadership position. I gotta take the lead in this. It's not the job. And it's crazy because I can do a job like that, cleaning a gym at the age of 34, and it drives my parents fucking crazy, wondering why the hell I'm cleaning a gym. In reality, I feel like I'm Ronnie Coleman. I got a free gym membership. I can use the gym. That's one trade-off that I get. I can train in the gym in the weekends, but I get so much peace to just go in and clean the gym every single morning. It puts me in such a growth mindset. Because not only am I cleaning the gym the exact same way, I'm looking for ways to do more in the same amount of time. It's the same thing when I worked at Marathon Slovakia, just down the road over here. I was putting chicken on a stick for 5 hours. Just literally a stick, chicken. That would drive most people fucking insane. But I for whatever reason, I was in a visual flow state because after a hard training session, I go into that state with a positive mental attitude. All I do is visualize my workout and I try to do it better and faster, more than last time. I made it a game. So I was just like keeping track and keeping goals and hitting it. And then eventually, everyone in the way I conducted myself and how I was disciplined, eventually people caught on, and the people in the restaurant were asking me questions about how to get fit, how to get stronger, what I did. They asked me for training because I knew I was like, eventually it's gonna rub off. I'm doing the exact same job, but I come with a positive mental attitude every single motherfucking day. There were some days I slipped. I know I did. And I wasn't proud. But it's a net sum. No one's gonna be perfect. But I knew for a fact it could be perfect. Might not start like 100% positive, but you can change your internal state based on how you conduct yourself, how I conduct myself. So I realized it has nothing to do with the job. It's how I conduct myself at the job. Whether I'm cleaning a gym at 3 fucking a.m. or I'm putting chicken on a stick. Why the fuck am I not depressed at the age of 34? No house, no wife, no kids, Middle Eastern parents, a lot of pressure to succeed. You know, 5-foot bankruptcy, move back to my parents' house, start all over again. Cleaning a gym at fucking 3 a.m.? Scrubbing? Putting chicken at the stick? Most of you guys would just fucking fall into a negative rabbit hole, have so much shame in yourself. And I'm telling you, fuck, it's one of the best jobs I've ever done. Because it's not the job. It's because I reframed the job and created a positive mental attitude with it. After my workouts, I go into a certain mindset. I'm like, how can I help the people around me? And you realize when you kind of like put a positive emotion towards that person and feed that relationship in a positive sense. So first, you feed yourself by growing stronger, elevating your mental state, creating a positive mental attitude by tapping into flow. And then you feed the people around you. And then all these material things feel great. Everything about this feels great. Everything about this environment feels great. I love this fucking environment right now. But when I don't work out, when I don't personally develop myself, when I'm not growing, when I'm not learning, and I'm not really benefiting or helping the people around me, I will go into a negative state and hate my circumstance. And then when I align all the right habits and I follow it to a T every single day, I'm like, yeah, man, I am that guy who wakes up fucking 3 a.m. I am that guy who's fucking in the right spot. I am that guy who's going to overcome anything. I am who I say I am, because I realize it's the discipline of staying fucking true to who you say you are, who I say I am, that puts me in a state of a positive mindset. This morning I woke up rough because I've gotten very comfortable with my current circumstance, and I've been the best in business on paper, but just not the best in terms of how I conduct myself. Even though I'm doing like technically better, there's so many energy leaks throughout the day that I'm noticing. So I went back to my old ways. And if you're struggling, you just have to realize there's a voice in our head that if you're like me and you say it's God, everyone says there's God within us. So if there's God within you and he's speaking to you, what the fuck is the right thing to do? Fuck all your impulses. I mean, what is the right thing to do? And I guarantee it's probably take care of yourself and take care of the people around you. What does that mean to you? What it means to me is by being in shape, being lean, being strong, having strong joints, being able to move, and literally helping the people around me. So making them grow stronger faster. But because I also clean the gym, it's also clean the gym at the best of my abilities. When I work at a marathon, it was pulling the chicken sticks at the best of my abilities. Again, some days are not the best, but when you go into the same process, same steps every single fucking day, you get better and better and better and better, and you just focus on areas of improvements. That's when I learned, instead of focusing on being perfect, I focus on growth. Am I getting better than before? That's right. That's a healthy mindset.